Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where yes, I'm actually doing commentary on one of my JP runs. Normally I don't because whenever I am recording my runs I'm actually working. So I actually had a little bit of spare time before I have to head out to work to actually record some to actually record it at home and actually add some commentary. So yeah, you probably won't see me do this all the time, but like, you know, here and there, why not? You know, I mean, sure, why not? You know, like it'll also help out so that way those who are curious about like said character or like whatever character got like a rework or etc, then I'll be able to commentate and whatnot on said changes, you know, changes and all that good stuff. But yeah, I figured, you know what, since I do have a little bit of time and today's not gonna be too bad in terms of work, I was like, hey, let's record, why not? So but yeah, for this fight right here though, this fight, as many have probably saw in the Twitter showcase, like these things get like a crap ton of turns. So because of that, I decided, even though Rubicante can actually solo this fight, which, I mean, with the amount of turns these things freaking get, I mean, it's very possible for him to be able to do so. And with him being able to reduce Brave and HP damage, it's not going to be an issue at all for him to be able to solo this fight. But I decided to bring Core with Rubicante because he is able to help me out in meeting Rubicante's FR conditions. So, which, speaking of his FR conditions, they are very easy to meet. So it is definitely more catered towards him. And because of that, you know, it's definitely best to try to pair Rubicante with like a character that is able to help out in dealing off-turn damage, but at the same time, like, won't actually like hinder him in like breaking the enemy a little bit too much. But Core is able to in a way not be too pushy, but at the same time will also help him out, especially while force time is active. So. But when it comes to his FR conditions, let me go ahead and let's skill 1. But when it comes to his FR conditions, the first one being that he can increase the HP damage bonus by 40% whenever Rubicante receives a Brave or an HP attack. And then you can also get a 5% increase whenever the party member uses a fire ability, and this also includes off-turn triggers, which is why Core and many characters is able to actually help out with that. The other one, which is going to be, since Rubicante does have FR boards, is that you can actually increase it by 10% whenever a party member selects any fire ability, and thankfully Rubicante is able to actually he is able to provide party fire enchant to everybody, which is great. Now, when it comes to his BT effect, his BT effect's not too bad. His BT effect does give him a second counter attack, which is fantastic, and that'll also help out when it comes to increasing his force time ability. He also provides a 30% party Brave damage up, a 20% Brave damage cap up, a 50% HP damage cap up, which is nasty actually. Like that's actually really good. And for the party, that is great, especially while his force time is going to be active too. Like that's going to be nasty. So you can only imagine that you can actually, like, depending on like say Shinryu fights, if there's no like elemental lockout, you can actually pair Rubicante with Squall, and like Squall can actually take advantage of Rubicante's HP damage cap up, and Squall can actually potentially dish out some extremely high damage. But overall though, his BT effect is very solid. Like the fact that they decided to actually increase the HP damage cap up, because the normal amounts for HP damage cap up nowadays is like 30%, but to actually have a 50% is fire, and I am not opposed to that. Now at some point, hopefully I'll be able to activate my force ability, if the enemies are gonna let me. Because as you can see, like they're getting turns galore. Alright. For some reason, I thought that they were about to jump in a turn order. Like, come on, bro. I need to activate my force ability here. What's nice is that Rubicante is inflicted with, I do believe, his turn rate down and speed down. The other thing about his force ability, actually, is going to be... Let me activate this. Is going to be that he actually inflicts himself with a 50% turn rate down. So guess what? That means he's going to be pushed back in the turn order. The other thing about him is that he actually does not inflict a lock debuff, but it's actually via like an aura, and which is different from normal tanks, right? So because of that, like and I do believe it's actually via one of his buffs. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So his face me at full strength buff actually makes it so that it draws the target of all enemies. So it pretty much like everybody is forced to attack Rubicante, regardless of having a lock debuff. I am curious though if it's possible to be able to pair him up with another tank that actually inflicts the lock debuff, and I'm wanting to see if it's actually possible for Rubicante to actually overlook lead turns. But yeah, I wonder if it is possible to be able to overlook that lock debuff that, let's say, like another tank inflicts, and it still redirects everything towards Rubicante. Which, if it does, then I mean, would that really be much of a big issue? Not really. Literally, this fight plays itself, which I think is pretty funny. Call ability wise, he is able to party fire enchant with his LD call ability, which is pretty cool. It also provides party brave damage resist up and HP damage resist up. His regular call ability does not provide party fire enchant, but it does also provide self brave damage resist up and HP damage resist up, which is nice. I wonder if we can get to 99. I don't think we will, but the fact that I'm literally just sitting here, just looking at the City of Compendium while this thing plays itself is actually pretty funny. But overall, though, from like the few fights that I've done so far this morning, because somehow I magically decided to like wake up like extra early before work, which I normally do when it comes to JP content, but this time I actually woke up a little bit more extra. A little bit more extra. God, my grammar's terrible. My English is terrible. But yeah, from what I have seen so far, Rubicante is actually pretty solid for him being a tank, an elemental tank at that. I mean, we do have Snow, who is an elemental tank, and I forget if there's somebody else. I can't remember. Like, it's too early in the morning. No, like overall though, like I mean, he is very solid. I'm literally at this fight. This fight is playing by itself. That's funny. But no, like overall though, Rubicante is definitely pretty solid. Can't complain about really much about anything. I would say like maybe like the tiniest con about him would be like if he actually provided true fire enchant instead of regular fire enchant. That way it could actually stack up with other elements. But it's not really too much of a con. Really, it's just like a little tiny thing that I kind of like wish they would have added onto it. But you know, we'll take it. We'll take it regardless of anything. Yeah. With that being said, that's pretty much it for the video. If you are wanting to check out the full details of Rubicante, you can always check out the City of Compendium. That link will be down in the description of this video. And with that being said, that's gonna be it. So take care, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.